black.
This is third, right? Yeah. What was the talent and what was the creative? Creative, new talent, and partner.
All right, within seconds we have 54.
Yeah. Wait, but on Instagram? Yeah. But not, it was right in the very beginning. So we were figuring it out. And then we went to we did more of those.
All right, we're at 105.
And then,
109.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Hi guys. Hi everyone. We are here. I'm Maggie Mulhern from Mulhern Salon. We are here in New York City at the Goldwell Academy, and I am with these fabulous judges. We just judged Color Zoom 2017. I've been very fortunate that I've judged it several times, and this was by far the best. Phenomenal entries, beautifully presented. And if you get a chance, I don't want to forget to say this, if you get a chance to go to this Goldwell Academy, it's fabulous. Classes are great, the facility is wonderful, and we're here to talk about judging. So, we have Larisa Love.
Hello, everyone.
Kien Hoang. Did I say it right?
Kien Hoang, yes.
Kien Hoang and Sandra Humphries.
Hi, everybody.
And it was a challenging judging, and we all learned something from this one, I think. And that's what we want to talk to you guys about, how to win a competition. And it could be Color Zoom, it could be NAHA, it could be anything. And we want to know what you learned. First of all, Sandra, I'm going to ask you, tell us about the collection.
Right. So the collection for Color Zoom this year that we're judging everyone on is called Influx. And the important thing to know about it, it's about this wonderful iridescent color. It's about kind of unique textures coming together, beautiful haircuts, and amazing styling. And everybody in all three categories did incredibly well. I thought it was just spectacular. I'm so excited for everybody. I'm really proud of the work that everybody did.
And the three categories, tell us about
the three categories are creative, which are for hairdressers that are 5 years or older in the business. For the new talent, it's less than 5 years as a hairdresser. And then we have the partner category, which is for all the Goldwell artists that work and educate, platform artists, things like that. And all of them were spectacular, I thought. Every one of them really shone in their grooves. I was really proud of everybody.
It was great. And let's talk about that. Larisa, we'll start with you.
Okay.
What was magical about this for you, and what did you learn from judging this?
What did I learn from judging this?
Yeah.
Ooh, put me on the spot here. Well, one, it was amazing. It was a really hard competition because they all looked so beautiful. But there was a few that stood out to me right away. And I automatically, I'm like, okay, high charts on the numbers right away. And I have a feeling that others chose too. You know, who knows? But then again, we're also different, which is amazing. You guys chose such amazing judges because we're also different within our personalities, within just the way we see things. You know, so I'm an artist where I'm a stylist, you're a stylist as well, but then you do other things. You're a director where you're your own Mulhern Salon, so you're a writer.
I own it. Excellent. I own Mulhern Salon. I didn't know that, but that's pretty cool. Thank you.
Promotion, man. right. So we're also different. That's why it was so great because we can look at something where we're just talking about, what did you think about this one? You know, and then where you were like, I love it. You know, so obviously we have different thoughts on all of them, but what I learned from it was it's really important to really pick the perfect model. You know,
good tip. Yeah.
You know, for me, I could automatically see who chose a model and who was a friend that they chose. And I feel like if you don't have a good model, it almost ruins the overall look for me. I can't get past the model. You know, so I think it's really important to invest in a good model. Yeah, you might have to pay for her, but in the end, in the long run, if you really want to win, you know, you got to do what you got to do. So a model is definitely my top choice. Also, I wrote some keys. You got to practice. You know, you can't just be like, I'm just gonna just wing it. You can't do that. You really got to practice your craft and really perfect it before you even go into these competitions. Also, you got to stay focused and committed because this is like a year and a half type of, especially if you win, type of competition. So, and then you have to be focused because if you win, then you're going to go to another place. You're going to go to Barcelona, and then you have to go there. So there's many places that you have to go. So you have to take a lot of time out of your hands. So you got to be 100% committed to this. You can't just half it. And then, honestly, also go for it. Just do it. Because I feel like a lot of people are afraid to do it because they don't think they're going to win. And you'd be surprised how many of the winners thought the same thing. So I think it's really important to not listen to others and just, if you want to do it, because you never know.
Did you leave anything for Kien?
Larisa said it all.
I'm sorry. You know.
Goldwell US says great tips.
Thank you.
Great tips. Those are great tips. Yeah.
I guess for me, it's definitely the model. And what I was looking for is the vibrancy and the color, the application, the technique, how clean and how thoughtful what you're portraying in an image to present for the U.S. And also the fashion part of it, to see how relevant it is, because we are competing with and showing our best work for the USA. So for me, it was like an overall of like the model, the vibrancy in the color, the quality of the picture, the aesthetic of the clothes, all in one. But what was really, really interesting for all the new talents, you guys freaking rock.
Yay! That was great. Yeah.
You know, for us, I think we all were so impressed with like going for it, putting your best foot forward, and showing the world what you're about. And for me, that is just like I had all of us felt very emotional, and you know, because it was very, very tough to find the best one. But to all contestants, incredible work.
Yeah.
Redhead Muse and Dream says color and style is a great match. I agree.
Oh,
Very nice.
That's
All right, so
terrific.
Miss Sandra, what tips would you have for anyone entering?
So I would say whether it's Global Zoom, Color Zoom, or whether you're looking at NAHA or anything like that, you also want to be really aware of the background that you choose to put behind the hair. Because sometimes backgrounds can be too dark and then you can't see the detail in the hair, and it's really hard to catch whatever the shape or the style is of it. So you want to be really aware of the background. And I think for me, I would say, you know, maybe a little bit lighter is better than darker, because it is really hard, particularly if the hair is dark, right? The other thing I would say is watch the makeup, because sometimes you can have the most beautiful hair with the most, everything nails it, and then you've got, and nobody had this, so don't anybody panic, you've got rhinestones on the lips or something, do you know what I mean? Nobody had it, it's okay. But you know how sometimes then you just tend to go a little bit off the story, whatever story it is you're trying to tell, and the makeup can either enhance it beautifully or it can absolutely ruin what you think would be the perfect pulled together package. So you kind of want to step back and look at your finished look and then go, is that makeup pushing it too far or is it complementing it? Because we are in the hair business. If you're entering in NAHA or some of those categories for hair, you got to make sure you don't outshine the hair.
Oh, that's so good. You know, she just mentioned background, and I just want to say we are here, again, at the Goldwell Academy in the Meatpacking District, and check out this background. That is the Hudson River, where Sully landed. That's the Whitney Museum. Yeah, oh yeah, he floated down farther. There's the Whitney Museum, and over there is the One World Trade Towers. That's where Condé Nast, they have offices in there, and that used to be 2, but it's a phenomenal background here.
So Veronica _ her design says lifestyle is key.
Lifestyles, exactly.
And then
All right, so-
A Crimper says great advice.
Great advice, yeah. And before we get to my tips, I said we were going to talk about Larissa's nails. These are crazy. They are so beautiful. Check out
Let me
these
take
nails.
you to her nails.
Oh, a little bug flew over. Those are so beautiful. Tell us about your nails, Larisa.
Well, my girl Yvette, I believe her Instagram is Yvette Nails. And she's amazing. I've been going to her for a few months now, and I allow her to give almost full creative freedom because I trust her now. And just like I'm an artist, she's an artist, and I love when my clients come to me and like, do whatever you want is best, you know. And what I love about the way she does my nails is that they're forms, they're not tips. So she'll literally form it to my nail. She'll like squish them, make them thinner, you know, so they're not like all bulky and thick. Well, sometimes the tips can look. And then she'll like get creative with like the jewels, and I'm like an addict, so I go to her every 2 weeks, but they'll last me up to 4 weeks if I really wanted to.
How do you do hair with those?
They actually help me. So the only thing that sucks is that they poke through the gloves. But they help me because I can section out with them really easily. I brush out the curls with them because when I brush out with the brush, it can get a little frizzy, a little, you know, can almost like ruin the curl. So it really helps me work with them. And I've had them I've had nails for years, so I know how to work my way around them.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so my 2 tips.
Yes.
I've been very fortunate to have judged this and I judge NAHA, I judge tons of competition. To me, the most important thing is follow the rules. And by following the rules, I was looking specifically for, it had to be iridescent color. It had to have either a triangle in the fringe, one way or the other. And photos that I loved, if they didn't have the elements that were important, I immediately disqualified. I took those off of there. So really pay attention to the rules. And then the other thing was photography. There was one picture that was so great, but it looked like it was shot with like either a Polaroid
It was a little
film.
blurry, huh?
It was so blurry, and it was so beautiful, but it was so blurry. So you can take a great picture with a cell phone, but make sure that the photography really captures what you're doing. And again, back to the model. You guys, the model is key because we're thinking that we want to pick the best one that's going to represent the U.S. in Barcelona, and we know what we're up against. Oh, that's another tip. See what's won in the past, and see what the international judges are looking for.
That's a good tip. Yeah.
Anything else that you guys?
I would also say maybe lighting too.
Yes.
Sometimes I find that it's not that you have to hire a professional photographer lighter, but if you've got someone who knows how to light something, lighting hair is different than lighting other things that we use. So lighting the hair, particularly for a hair color company, or particularly if you're going into categories that have hair color, you really want to make sure you capture the lighting really well on that hair,
Also, I'll say back to photography, there was one that was super close up, and it almost took out some of the hair.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important to just back up a little. I'd rather have a little bit more background than just the full head.
That's a great tip.
So just have it nice and cohesive.
Yeah, and I want to bring up Daniel Rubin, who won last year. Is it in this issue? The current issue? Daniel Rubin won last year. He is an amazing artist. We have such a great article. Please either go to our issue or go online and search Daniel Rubin. He won last year, and he didn't realize the challenges, what would happen. And I told you guys, he was beautiful. He had this hair. When he did the photograph, he did it with a fan, so the hair blew up. Or no, actually, he dropped it. He dropped the hair. And then he won. He didn't realize he was going to win, and it was like, oh my goodness, how am I going to recreate that? Because you have to recreate it live, and it has to stay like that for 45 minutes for the live judging.
Lots of hairspray.
Lots of hairspray, and if you read the article, he learned from his fellow Goldwell artists how to interlock the hair and spray and keep it up. So that's something, when I was looking at the photos, I'm like, are they going to be able to recreate this in the live judging?
Because there was a lot that were movable.
Yeah, there was a lot of
So I'm
them.
like,
there was a
they're
fan
beautiful, but
Would
how are
they
they
win?
going to recreate
How
that?
do you recreate that live?
And that's following
and
the rules.
and I have one more too, which I was thinking of. If you do a profile shot, because a lot of people do profile shots, which are beautiful, if you end up in the competition, you have to figure out what's on the other side of that hair.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that happens to us too when we start to train the team, when they finally win and they go to represent the country. You only see this half of the hair. If you haven't thought about what this other half's going to look like live in a competition with the judges, sometimes that, they go, oh my goodness, I just pulled the hair back out of the way because I only wanted the profile.
I can't believe you said that.
Yeah, so that's a good tip too.
I was judging one, this was 2 years ago, I was judging the international, and my favorite picture, because we go there and then we judge all of the photos internationally, and then we have the live competition, and my favorite photo, I forget what, it was a creative category, my favorite photo, the model came in, and I do the 360 around her, and on the other side, somebody had just taken a clipper or something, and just razored, and it ruined the whole look.
Yeah.
And so she went from being my number one to probably being my last.
Wow.
Because the 360 was not reflective of what the one profile. That's good one.
That's a good difference.
So,
Are you guys, any other? Yes?
Born to Fly 2017 says, thank you for the tips. Amber Bovey Star says, makeup is so important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nails.
Nails.
And nails are important.
If you're going to put them in the shot, they're important.
They got to be good.
Matthew_Watt says, this is an amazing insight into the judging. Thank you.
Yeah. And like you said, too, clothing has to go with the hair.
Mm-hmm.
There were some where I was just like, the hair does not match the clothing at all.
Some was like, were we looking at hair or we were looking at the brightness of the clothes?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
That's right.
And there was one where I love the hair, but the makeup was a little too heavy, and it kind of ruined it for me. I'm like, if only there wasn't that much eyeliner, it would have been great.
That's right.
Yeah.
Daisy Aurelio Salon says, we love you, Maggie.
Love me. Thank you, Miss Daisy. Oh, I love you. I love Miss Daisy. Thank you. That's really nice. nice. Thank you.
Lyson Nicole says, great tips. Thank you.
Good.
Yeah, great tips. And we want you guys all to do well. And even if you don't win, you've got a great picture.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, you do.
And you can hang that up in your salon. And
Oh, I have a question. A Crimper is asking, how about editing?
No,
way.
you're going to have to do it live. And we can kind of see it because we all kind of edit our own things. You know, we can see when
It's
something's
obvious.
been edited. It's obvious, and it diminishes your work. Don't do anything. If it needs to be edited, do it over. Start it over.
I will also want to say, if you don't win the first time, don't lose hope. You know, because the person that won last time, he tried 5 times, right?
Ruben.
And, you know, if you don't win the second time, keep going, because not only is that going to better you as an artist, but also that will you'll still be able to be qualified to maybe win the next round. So just keep going, because you never know, you just might win the next time.
You know, I was talking to one of my local artists that works at Goldwell yesterday, and she enters every year. And she said, even if I don't win, I use the photo and I put it on my business card on the back.
Oh, that's so good.
So, you know, she finds ways to use the images that she's created in other ways so that it still reminds her of her work and what she's proud of, but her customers get to see it. So I thought that was really kind of a neat thing to be able to do as well.
So La Palme Verte, I apologize if I'm not saying that correctly, but she's saying, not to be rude at all, but the heavy breathing of the cameraman is slightly distracting. I don't think it's breathing.
Oh, I
I
bet
think
it's
it's
the
probably the
wind.
wind.
Yeah, we have wind. We have a plane going. We have planes floating in the
got-
river.
we got
You know,
lots of things going on.
It's New York. There were sirens.
It's
before.
authentic.
Yeah.
So
this is the real deal.
we apologize for that.
So yeah, we
Sorry.
apologize for that. You guys, first of all, thank you Goldwell for inviting us all to be. Thank you for
thank
inviting
you.
us to be
Thank you,
judges. This was
everybody.
amazing. I am just so impressed with all the work. I loved judging with everybody. This was a really
This
nice
was so fun.
crew.
It
was a great time.
Yeah, and when can we see? When are the winners announced?
Next week.
Oh, really?
Next week, the 5 semifinalists that will go to international judging, where we'll pick the gold,
Yes,
silver,
hair by
and bronze
Domenico.
medal. That will then go on further. But next week, towards the end of next week, we'll announce the 5 semifinalists.
And then they go on to Barcelona in October, and go USA.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Go
Go
USA.
USA.
I'm really excited for everything. Again, thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Maggie.
Goldwell. Thank you guys. This was so much fun.
Thank you.
We suck at the high-fiving thing.
Yeah, we had champagne
Bye,
before.
everyone.
All right, bye-bye. Bye. Thank you.
The heavy breathing of the cameraman. Shame on you.
I know. It's not me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she really was. She was really hyperventilating over this fabulous
He was too excited.
all the info.
Mesmerizing. I thought that was good. I thought it was fun. It was good.